Walt Grassel. Walt Grassel.
Veronica, what a great speech. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who's had a naysaying Uncle Chewy in your life. Did you notice how Veronica used personal stories to support her call to action, that we can use the scars in our life as either a motivation or an excuse? During your speech, Veronica, you took us on an emotional roller coaster. You shared the good feelings and then the moments of anxiety and stress that's been put into your life, in part by comments from your Uncle Chewy and probably people like him. You used the speaking area very well. You went over and talked about different things, and what you didn't do is come over to one side and then talk over here for half your speech and alienate that side of the audience. You came over and did things, and then you came back to the center and spoke to everyone, and that was very good and a good way to keep connecting with the audience. Your speech was well organized. You started out with a flavor scene, like the opening of a movie, where you told a personal story and how it impacted your life and how it set up the speech. Then you took us on your journey. And then at the end, you had a very effective call to action that we can use the scars in our life as excuses or as motivation. Sweet. You used effective pauses. You know about not stepping on laughs. You knew parts of your speech that were funny, and you waited for the audience to start to laugh and then to finish their laugh so they could enjoy your speech. That was very effective. And you also paused for us to soak in some of the emotional points that you were delivering. You had good gestures throughout your speech. I really enjoyed your gestures. But, let's see, for an advanced speaker like yourself, you've got this speech, which you've done several times, and you're becoming a very accomplished speaker, so it's really hard to find some big gotcha that you did wrong. So I'd like to maybe deal with the subtlety of your mechanics and your a little bit with your gestures and your facial expressions. You have a great smile, and that's good for the positive parts of your speech, but sometimes when you were talking about some emotional things, your mouth was still a little bit in a smile, and that was a disconnect. And the other thing had to do with your gestures, where a lot of times you were gesturing, but then you would bring your hands back to this level and almost keep them like this, or play with your fingers or that. And it's very subtle, and it wasn't a lot. But when you're doing that, you're sort of putting a barrier between the audience and yourself. So if you could notice when you do that and then speak with your hands at your side, I think it will reinforce the connection. But those are very, very subtle things. You gave a great speech, and I look forward to hearing you speak again. Mr. Toastmaster.